Welcome to FTMO Performance Talks, the podcast about trading performance for serious traders.
Yeah, and speaking about this, I have some examples maybe. I remember one trader who told me that he was trading while driving and almost crashed because of the lack of focus.
Oh no.
Yeah, and then I remember another situation with another trader because we were resolving the issue of being too much on the charts, and he told me that he was watching the platform so frequently that he was taking the laptop to the bathroom. And one day it slipped and fell down from the wash basin. Lucky enough, he told me that at least the trade was a profitable one, so it covered the part of the loss, but you got my point, right?
Yeah, bless him.
In 3, 2, 1. Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of Performance Talks. I'm Michael.
And my name is Nelly, and together we are FTMO performance coaches. And today we are going to focus on so-called work-life balance. And in my humble opinion, the importance of this topic cannot be overemphasized, especially in a world of trading, where we can find a lot of hardworking individuals who are sometimes trying so hard to reach their goals, they forget about everything but trading. So if you feel like this topic could be something for you, then stay with us.
Good morning, Nelly. How are you today?
Hi Michael, I'm doing well, the weather is awesome, and tomorrow I'm also heading to Austria for a little holiday, so I'm doing great. What about
Lucky
yourself?
you. I'm doing fine. I'm not going everywhere, but I'm enjoying the moment. So
Good to hear, good to hear. But yeah, let's dive into our today's topic, which is work-life balance. And I have to laugh a bit now because I feel like this topic is kind of familiar to me, as I also had a few periods in my life when I wasn't able to find that right balance, let's say. And I'm pretty sure that our listeners will relate to plenty of things which are going to be said during this episode. But what about you, Michael? What is the first thing which appears in your head when you hear work-life balance?
as you say, Nelly, I think that this topic is actually something which is very relevant for many people in today's world. And we can see it everywhere. With online technologies and having everything in your phone, you are responding to the emails from your job in the evening hours. You have your colleagues on WhatsApp, so you are reachable all the time, even during the vacation, for example.
Isn't that right?
So be prepared for some messages. The borders between work life and personal life are slowly disappearing, and trading is no exception, because it's so easy to access the markets and trade them via the mobile phone during all of my daily tasks. So I would say that this is definitely an issue for our traders.
Yeah, exactly. And then the burnout can very easily emerge. As at the beginning, we feel super motivated. We even enjoy being so busy, working so hard, and the best is seeing those results afterwards, right? However, after a while, we might find ourselves struggling badly because we become so used to this lifestyle, we find it as a normal, and we forget about other things besides our work. The work will still be here. But what about your grandparents, parents? What about your kids? They won't be this small again. They won't need you this much in a few months, years, as they need you right now, right?
Yeah, I see what you mean. That by putting the focus solely on trading, we can miss other important aspects of our lives. And I hear it every time in the sessions with our FTMO traders, that trading is sometimes getting out of hands. I guess that most of traders will agree with me that one of the biggest motivation why we even start with trading is the freedom. Freedom not to be obliged to be somewhere at a certain time. But we all know how it often goes. Traders end up glued to the charts, looking for the opportunity or just watching the trade moving.
I know, right? It is so typical. You are seeking that freedom one day, and another day you are literally becoming a slave of the markets.
Yeah, and speaking about this, I have some examples maybe. I remember one trader who told me that he was trading while driving and almost crashed because of the lack of focus.
Oh no.
Yeah, and then I remember another situation with another trader because we were resolving the issue of being too much on the charts. And he told me that he was watching the platform so frequently that he was taking the laptop to the bathroom. And one day it slipped and fell down from the wash basin. Lucky enough, he told me that at least the trade was a profitable one, so it covered the part of the loss, but you got my point, right?
Yeah, bless him. That's the only luck. Imagine it would be a loser. That would be literally a cherry on the top of everything. But yeah, well, I mean, sometimes we can become so passionate about trading, we literally forget everything else that is going on in our life. And maybe for some time, it is not that bad, but it is not a sustainable lifestyle. It is crucial to have some rest. I like to compare traders to athletes. Imagine an athlete who's trading 24/7. How do you think he or she will end up?
I don't know, but I guess that you need to have some rest if you're an athlete or anyone else. Otherwise, you can be overtrained, exhausted.
Yeah, exactly. Your muscles need some rest if you want to perform your best. And similar with trading. How can you perform your best if your brain is not well rested?
Well, it's difficult, very, very difficult to perform if you are not rested. And when we are looking at this from a psychological perspective, if you are feeding your brain only with one type of information, then your brain can get tired and you lose your concentration. You can get lost because for your brain, all of the information is very similar, so it's hard to differentiate between. And then, because of this information fatigue, you can make many errors you would make if you would have been fresh.
Exactly.
I remember one client who was dealing with the issue of not having enough mental energy to trade. And during our sessions, we have found out that he didn't have the capacity for his New York session because he was using lots of his capacity during the London, which, guess what? He even doesn't need to trade at the first place.
Yeah, that is unfortunately pretty common. I'm working with few folks who would even trade during the night. Like, they would literally go sleep, yeah, with alerts set, and then trade in between of their sleep, basically because of the FOMO. And if you think about it, your sleep pattern can be damaged due to this. Plus, lack of sleep also doesn't represent anything good for you and your brain.
Yeah, and then the day after, if you have like losses in the night. Uh, but I'm happy that you are mentioning this. And I say that this is a textbook example of how the work-life balance can be totally off. And in this case, the borders between trading and personal life are very vague. Maybe they don't even exist. So it's same like if you would be trading during the family dinner. What you are doing then?
Yeah.
Are you eating and spending your time with your family, or are you trading? And if you think about this, if you are doing a little bit of both, how much focus you are putting into this, how effective this might be.
Yeah. Multitasking is not really beneficial if you want to take trading or any other work seriously. Like, imagine having a meeting with your boss, yeah, while having a dinner with your family. You also wouldn't even think about it, right? Like, because you want to devote all your attention to that meeting because it's important, and you need to do that in the right environment, right? And basically, in a similar way, you should approach your trading. You should trade only within your trading times and in a proper environment without any distractions.
Yeah, but I think that maybe some of our listeners would disagree with this because if I'm limiting myself to trade within a certain time period, I might lose some of the opportunities in the market. And you know what? You are right. But it also means that I have time windows to mentally recover from trading. And if I accept this fact, then I have no regrets if I potentially miss a trade. Because then I'm giving the trading clear borders, so I have trading time and the rest time.
Yeah. And I mean, to get back to your client who knew that his session is a New York one, that is only it's great. It's awesome to have an idea which session is statistically the best for you, and then just stick with it. My clients would, for example, often trade an overlap during the New York and London, and then they would be done for the rest of the day.
Yes, and that's how work-life balance can be actually maintained. But I need to have a certain structure I can follow. Sometimes we hear that work-life balance is very important, especially in trading. And one of the ways I can build this structure is to ask myself when I trade the best. And then I can put the rules around this time frame. So, for example, if I know that I'm in my peak trading performance from 8 to 10 a.m. in the morning, then I can start to think about how I can rearrange my day so I can trade during this time window. I guess that for many people, this is the time they need to be at work. But I'm not saying you should quit or something. I'm talking about how sometimes I can gain more free time or flexibility by doing just small adjustments to my daily routine. For example, to shift my time schedule for things which are not that important during my time window I need to trade. And if this is not possible, well, then maybe I can go the other way. At first, ask myself which times during the day I'm able to focus sufficiently on trading, and then build the trading strategy around this time frame.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't say that one approach is better than the other. What do you think?
Well, I just agree with you. There's no approach better than the other. It is all very individual at the end of the day. However, once you find out what does suit you, you should try to stick with it, at least for a decent amount of time, and then you'll see if this daily schedule is the right one for you. Also, let me just mention here very quickly, often, and not just within my sessions, I see people struggling with time schedule or daily schedule, as they would try to fit themselves into that so-called morning person pattern, even though they would be like a night owls. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think that this is actually something which is very true for everything in trading, because I need to listen to myself first. And no one is going to tell me what is right or wrong specifically for me.
Yeah, we are all different, so it is crucial to find out what works for us the best. Especially when you are a full-time trader, you have that freedom to create your own daily schedule. You don't really have to worry about living life in a different way. However, what I'm trying to say is once you find what is the best approach for you, try to stick with it.
Or maybe don't try to stick, but just stick. And because when it comes to something which is working for you, then it makes total sense to stick with it and do it. So if I have the structure for trading, I know when to trade and when not to, then I can dedicate the rest of the time I have to do something I enjoy. And it can be anything, because many times we forget about the fact that trading is just one part of our lives. And that's where this can be really dangerous. If I don't have anything to fill the time with when I'm not trading, then it can be very easy to slide back to the platform and start trading outside of my schedule, just out of boredom, for example.
Indeed. And guys, I get it, yeah? You all just love trading. However, spice up your life a bit, please. Enjoy it till it lasts. And I'm sure some listeners will probably think I'm crazy now if I'll tell you to go and play some video games or whatever will make you happy. It can be sports, listening to music, going out for a walk with your dogs, having a drink with your friends, just spending time chilling with your family. I don't know, because do whatever will make you happy. That is what will actually help you to boost your performance. And thank me later for this. Now I'm serious. I'm serious. It will boost your performance. You need that balance in your life. And if you go for a walk only for a few minutes, you will see everything with a better clarity.
Wow, Nice speech, Nelly. Have you ever considered a career as a motivational speaker?
I think I'll stick with psychology.
No, I mean it. Really, really well said. Okay, so to sum this up, the structure is important, and I can build a structure around my trading, or I can build my strategy around my time schedule. But then, of course, I need to stick with that. Anything you would like to add?
Sticking with structure is definitely crucial, and as it can be tempting to trade also during the times when we are not even supposed to watch the charts, have some other activity which will distract you from doing so. Stick with your daily plan, enjoy it, have fun, and get enough sleep. Rest is underestimated.
Okay, so I guess that's it for today's episode.
Yeah.
Have a nice day, guys. And if you have any ideas you would like us to talk about, don't hesitate and put it in the comments section. And thank you, Nelly, for today.
Thank you, Michael. And I guess I can say for both of us that we are just looking forward to our next episode.
And as always,
Trade safe.
This was FTMO Performance Talks. And for more, follow us on Spotify, Google Podcast, Apple Podcast, SoundCloud, and our YouTube channel.